Are your joints stiff, swollen, or constantly aching, even after rest? If you're over 60 and each morning begins with pain in your knees, hips, or hands, this isn't just aging. You may be ignoring the early signs of silent inflammation, something that's quietly stealing your strength and threatening your independence. But here's the good news. You can fight back, not with pills, but with food. In this video, you'll discover 3 powerful plant-based proteins that help reduce joint pain, lower inflammation, and rebuild your mobility from the inside out. These aren't trendy powders or expensive supplements. They're affordable, easy-to-cook foods that have helped thousands of older adults move easier, feel stronger, and stay independent. And don't miss the tip halfway through. It's something most people skip, but it could quietly improve your flexibility in just a few weeks. If that sounds helpful, tap the like button and consider subscribing to Over 60 Wellness. Your support helps us keep creating science-backed health content just for you. Now, let's get started with the first healing food your joints will thank you for. Section 1. Lentils, the unsung hero of joint relief. If arthritis pain has ever made you hesitate before climbing the stairs or getting out of bed, this might surprise you. Lentils, yes, those tiny humble legumes, could be your best defense. For older adults in the U.S., arthritis isn't just uncomfortable, it's a daily obstacle. But the right foods can act like allies in your journey to mobility. Lentils are rich in magnesium, a mineral that calms inflammation like a cool breeze across burning joints. Many seniors unknowingly fall short in magnesium, and this deficiency often keeps pain lingering longer than it should. These legumes also bring potassium to the table. Why does that matter? Because potassium helps flush excess sodium that can lead to swelling. Less sodium means less bloating, and less bloating means easier movement. But here's the part most folks overlook. Fiber. Not just good for digestion, but a key in stabilizing blood sugar. Blood sugar spikes are like pouring gas on the inflammation fire. Lentils help douse that flame by keeping things steady. And we can't forget folate, a B vitamin that lowers homocysteine, a compound that silently contributes to chronic joint damage over time. Think of lentils as little doctors, working behind the scenes, healing inflammation one spoonful at a time. Lentils also offer iron, which many older adults don't get enough of. And low iron can lead to fatigue, making it harder to stay active, something absolutely vital for keeping joints mobile and strong. Let's not overlook their gut healing power. The fiber in lentils feeds your good bacteria. A healthy gut can mean fewer flare-ups and lower inflammation overall. It's like tending the soil before the flowers grow. When your gut thrives, your joints do too. Want a practical way to enjoy lentils? Try a warm lentil soup with turmeric, garlic, and a touch of olive oil. Or mash them with sweet potato for a hearty spread on toast. You're not just eating, you're treating yourself every bite of the way. Extra tip, be cautious with canned lentils. Some have too much added salt. Always rinse them first, or better yet, cook your own. It's simple, it's cheaper, and it's better for your joints. A little known secret, lentils also help stabilize your mood. Why? Because fiber and folate together support brain health. And when you feel more at ease emotionally, you're less likely to notice pain. Food doesn't just heal, it uplifts. Psychological hook. Think of lentils like tiny bodyguards, silently protecting you, calming your pain, and working day and night to give your joints a break. Next up, we're moving from the bodyguards to the repair crew. You might already have this next food in your kitchen, and what it can do for aging joints might just blow your mind. Section 2. Chickpeas, the cellular shield for arthritic joints. Now that you've met your bodyguards, let's introduce your repair team. Chickpeas, also known as garbanzo beans, are more than a pantry staple. They're a healing machine, packed into a tiny beige bite. For older adults struggling with joint pain, They're one of the easiest, most affordable, and most powerful tools you can eat. First, chickpeas are high in plant-based protein, and your joints love that. Protein helps preserve the muscles and tendons that support your joints and keep you mobile. As we age, we naturally lose muscle mass, which puts more pressure on your joints. Chickpeas help you fight back without the inflammation often triggered by red meat or processed animal protein. What makes chickpeas even more special is their antioxidant power. They contain polyphenol, natural compounds that act like internal firefighters, cooling inflammation and preventing further damage inside your joints. These antioxidants neutralize free radicals, which are like tiny sparks that make pain worse. Chickpeas are the extinguisher, and they bring another gift, vitamin C. You might think of it for immunity, but here's the secret. Vitamin C is essential for producing collagen. Collagen is like the padding between your bones, the soft cushion that lets you move freely. Without enough collagen, joints become stiff, grinding, and painful. Chickpeas help restore the buffer. Let's not forget magnesium. This mineral relaxes tight muscles and supports strong bones. It also calms the nervous system, helping reduce the overall pain response. Imagine being able to stretch or take a walk without wincing. That's the magnesium effect. Here's something most people miss. Chickpeas are rich in resistant starch, a special kind of fiber that feeds your gut bacteria, stabilizes blood sugar, and lowers inflammation. When your gut is happy, your joints often follow. Want even more reason to love chickpeas? They help manage weight. Extra weight adds pressure to joints, especially the knees and hips. The fiber in chickpeas keeps you full longer, reducing overeating and helping maintain a healthy weight, all without complicated diets or counting calories. Try this at home. Roast chickpeas with a little olive oil, paprika, and garlic powder for a crispy snack. Or toss them into a spinach salad with lemon and tahini. Want comfort food? Blend them into creamy hummus and dip fresh veggies. These simple ideas don't just taste good. They fight inflammation bite by bite. Watch out for this. Avoid canned chickpeas with added preservatives or excess sodium. Always drain and rinse thoroughly. Or better yet, soak and cook them yourself. You'll unlock more nutrients and avoid unnecessary salt. Surprising benefit. Chickpeas may also support brain health. Their combo of iron, B vitamins, and antioxidants supports mental clarity, helping you stay sharp as you age. Because what good is less pain if you're not feeling present to enjoy it? Psychological hook. Think of chickpeas as your joint's in-house maintenance crew, cleaning up the damage, rebuilding the cushion, and keeping your joints running smoothly. If this has helped you, or you'd like more tips like these, don't forget to subscribe to Over 60 Wellness and leave us a comment below. Your support keeps us going. Next up, we'll meet the quietest member of this healing trio, mild in flavor, but mighty in action. Don't underestimate this soft food. It could become your new secret weapon against daily pain. Section 3. Tofu, the quiet powerhouse that rebuilds from within. You've met the bodyguards. You've seen the repair crew. Now let's talk about the silent architect. Tofu, soft, mild, and often underestimated, is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory foods for older adults living with arthritis. It doesn't shout for attention, but inside your body, it's working overtime to rebuild, strengthen, and soothe your aching joints. Tofu is made from soybeans and contains all 9 essential amino acids. That makes it a complete protein, which is especially important as we age. Your muscles, bones, and even your cartilage rely on these building blocks to maintain structure. Without enough high-quality protein, your body can't rebuild what arthritis slowly wears down. Tofu provides the raw materials your joints need, without the inflammatory side effects of red meat. Here's where tofu becomes truly special. Omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats are like natural joint lubricants. They reduce stiffness, soothe swelling, and even help prevent further joint breakdown. Think of them like oiling a squeaky hinge. Suddenly, everything moves smoother, easier, less painfully. But tofu's not done yet. It also offers a powerful punch of calcium, the mineral your bones crave. For seniors, especially women over 60, calcium is critical. It helps prevent the slow, silent bone thinning that leads to fractures and long-term disability. If dairy causes inflammation for you, or you're simply trying to cut back, tofu is your plant-based solution. And let's not forget about isoflavones. These natural compounds found in soy work like gentle hormone balancers. They mimic some effects of estrogen in the body and can reduce the joint pain that often worsens postmenopause. Studies have even shown that isoflavones may help improve flexibility and reduce morning stiffness. For something so quiet, tofu has a loud impact. Little known fact, tofu can support your immune system, too. Chronic inflammation often weakens immune response, but the antioxidants and phytonutrients in tofu help keep your body protected. When your immune system works better, so does your ability to heal. Try this at home. Sauté tofu cubes with ginger, garlic, and a splash of low-sodium tamari for a joint-friendly stir-fry. Blend silken tofu into smoothies with berries for a creamy protein boost. Or marinate firm tofu with lemon and herbs. Then bake until golden. It's comfort food with healing power. Watch out for this. Not all tofu is equal. Choose organic, non-GMO tofu when possible. And avoid deep frying. While crispy tofu tastes great, the added oils can cancel out the anti-inflammatory benefits. Bonus tip. Want to absorb more calcium from tofu? Pair it with vitamin D-rich foods like mushrooms or fortified almond milk. Your bones will thank you. Psychological hook. Think of tofu as the quiet builder, reconstructing your strength from the inside out, steady and reliable, even when you're not paying attention. Up next, now that you've met the top 3 arthritis-fighting plant proteins, what happens when you combine them all? The answer might change the way you plan your next meal and your future mobility. Final thoughts, putting it all together. Now that you've discovered the power of lentils, chickpeas, and tofu, you're equipped with 3 simple, affordable, and proven tools to help manage arthritis naturally. These aren't just healthy foods. They're everyday allies in your fight against pain, inflammation, and stiffness. Here's the big takeaway. You don't need to rely solely on medications or costly treatments. You have control. Each meal is a chance to rebuild, restore, and relieve. When you choose foods that reduce inflammation, support joint health, and nourish your muscles, you're choosing a stronger, more mobile future. Keep this in mind. Consistency matters. Add lentils to your soup rotation, toss chickpeas into your salads, and experiment with tofu in stir-fries or smoothies. The more these proteins become part of your weekly routine, the more your body, and especially your joints, will thank you. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about taking small, smart steps that add up over time. These foods are tools, and now you know how to use them. YW checkmark if you found this video helpful. Please support us by clicking the like button. Share it with someone you care about who might be struggling with joint pain. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Over 60 Wellness, for more science-backed tips and practical guidance tailored specifically for seniors just like you. Thank you for watching. And until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and take care of those joints.